So a few weeks ago we loaned a couple of high-end gaming monitors, the Asus PG279Q and Acer XB271HU, to the NandoPandaTech YouTube channel for review. These monitors are 165Hz, IPS and G-Sync compatible gaming panels, and some of the best gaming monitors we have ever seen. While the review was well received, we noticed a number of slightly concerning comments and feedback from the community regarding an apparent quality control issue. First and foremost, we'd like to say thank you very much for those comments and opinions that you raised, the focus of which seemed to revolve around the quality control issues of the Asus PG279Q in relation to the Backlight Bleed. I'd like to preface this video by saying that I still do stand by my opinion that the Asus is a fantastic monitor, and to this day the most enjoyable time I've had gaming has been on that one panel. That being said though, we decided to investigate and do a bit of digging to find out the truth behind the PG279Q and whether the backlight bleed issue was as severe as some were making it out to be. The way in which we went about this, apart from making a kick-ass Game of Thrones style throne out of all the boxes, was to unpack 20 of these Asus monitors and put them to the test. We wanted to be able to run all of these monitors at once so we could compare the backlight bleed of all of them, so we set up shop out back in our workstation, which is where we build all of our machines and is the time-lapse footage that you see now. To test for the backlight bleed, we set all of the monitors side by side, left the monitors at their default stock settings, and checked each one individually. The way in which we captured the bleed was to have the monitor perpendicular to the camera, with the camera pointing at the upper third of the screen, which is the correct ergonomic way to seat your monitor. There will be a link to an Imager album down below for all the photos we took, as well as the camera settings used to capture them. I've included an original set as well as a slightly edited set, which aims to show a slightly tighter and more accurate portrayal of what we saw. It's quite hard to capture backlight bleed on camera, but the team here believes these images are a realistic expectation of what we saw. And what we did see, unfortunately, was the internet, as usual, was correct. The monitors did exhibit a higher than average amount of backlight bleed, as you can see from the photos taken here. Out of the 20 monitors, the backlight bleed ranged from what I consider minimal to pretty outrageous, with about half being on the heavier end of the spectrum. The level of tolerance towards backlight bleed is subjective, and the general consensus being that around half of these monitors had backlight bleed that was unacceptable. It's a real shame because I still love this monitor. The performance is mind-blowing and it has incredible potential. It's just severely let down by the quality control over at Asus. I would like to say a quick word about the backlight bleed, however, before you go and flame Asus. For those of you who don't know, the way in which monitors are lit is typically by an LED light source from behind the panel. The LCD panel itself blocks out light that is not needed when displaying an image, and you get that lovely vibrant picture you see in front of you. Unfortunately, sometimes not all of the light is blocked by the panel, whether due to the opacity of the panel or clamping during the manufacturing process, and as a result you get what is known as backlight bleed as light leaks around the edges of the frame. Unfortunately, that is the way things are going to stay, at least for the time being. No matter how expensive an IPS panel you buy, and irrespective of the brand, it's still an IPS panel, and as such is susceptible to the limitations and lighting related defects that arise in the manufacturing process. With any IPS panel, you're going to get at least a slight amount of backlight bleed, whether you buy the Acer XB271HU, the PG279Q, the XB270HU, you'll get some degree of backlight bleed. The only way to get around that is with a different type of display, and that's where the OLED panels come in, but unfortunately not until later on this year. One other issue we found with the Asus monitor was that there is a discrepancy with the orientation of the bezel and how it lines up with the center column. When we lay the bezel straight, the little arrow indicating where the bezel is doesn't actually line up with the indent on the stand. So when you have your monitor perpendicular to you, the notches don't quite line up. It's not a big issue by any means, but it's something that slipped past the cracks, and for any people who are really anal about that kind of stuff, well, it's there. Now, for those of you wanting an alternative to the PG279Q, there is the Acer XB271HU. But again, while we have demonstrated there are some issues with quality control in regard to the Asus, we can make no promises that the Acer doesn't have these issues as well. If you do want to see us compare the two, leave a like or a comment below, and that's hopefully something we can work towards bringing you. If you do want to buy one of these high-end gaming panels for now though, I would highly recommend that you do your research and make sure you know what you're getting into. I'll also add we have reached out to Asus for comment about the quality control issues in relation to the stand and the backlight bleed, but as the turnaround for this video was reasonably quick, we've yet to hear back from them. What we'd like to know though are your thoughts on the backlight bleed. Do you think this level of backlight bleed is acceptable, and would you return a monitor if it did exhibit this kind of bleed? Remember to check out the imager album down below, as all of the 40 images we took are located there. Let us hear your thoughts in the comments below or on our Facebook page. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope this cleared up a couple of questions for you. As for now, this is Matt from Computer Lounge, signing out.